News about The Witcher. I watched the first season of this, and it was so good, man. It was so... I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I don't know what happened.
What's up, everyone? It's Endymion, and recently, as I'm sure you're aware, Netflix has begun their media campaign around The Witcher Season 3. And while I'll be covering many aspects of what's been going on surrounding this latest season, I also kind of want to rant a little, if you'll permit me to do so.
Okay,
but before that,
great.
Let's talk about what's been shown thus far. Firstly, we have the official poster being shown with Geralt, Ciri, and Yen front and center. Although fans have been quick to point out that Geralt is somewhat covered and brushed to the side in the poster, which as I keep going, this theme will unfortunately continue. Also, it was announced that
I think that kind of makes sense for them to want to phase him out as being the main character if they know he's not going to be on the show. Like, logically, it makes sense.
3 will be split into 2 parts. The only reason why studios do this to their shows is to have their projects stay longer in the...
You see, like... This is, I think, another issue, is that people wanted the characters to look like the characters in the game. Like, I guarantee you, a lot of the criticism for like, let's say, The Witcher, about half of it would have been gone if they had Yennefer played by Kate Beckinsale whenever she was in Underworld. Like, half of the criticism, like, any complaint you would have had about the show would have been gone. Think about that.
Spotlight. And it's simply designed to build hype in order to gain more views and acclaim in order to finish the season with great renown. A good example of this strategy working would be Stranger Things Season 4. They left the fan base on a cliffhanger
I never
with
watched
part 1,
this.
which put everyone into a frenzy with theories, and once hype was through the roof, they dropped the second part, and the starved fan base devours it like a pack of wolves being thrown a Swiss chalet rotisserie chicken. It's a sound strategy, but I honestly don't think it'll work for The Witcher like it did for Stranger Things for, well, obvious reasons.
Yeah, for obvious reasons,
And according to Redanian Intelligence, who regularly has scoops on all things Witcher, they have apparently been given insights and even leaked scripts of the upcoming season. According to them, they also know what Henry Cavill's final scene will be as Geralt as well, and it's...
I wonder if they're gonna, like, kill him or what's gonna happen. I don't even know. Maybe they'll do, like, a time skip to explain why he looks different whenever the other guy plays him. I have no idea. Like, I do need to actually play Witcher 3, and also Witcher 2. Like, I didn't really understand how much of a thought Triss was until I read about it. Or I, like, watched a video about it, and apparently, like, Triss and Yennefer were friends, and Triss knew that Geralt lost his memories, and she got with him knowing that he was supposed to be dating Yennefer, and she didn't give a fuck. Yeah, don't care shot. Like, that is, bro, that is, what the fuck? That's crazy. Oh my god. Yoink, yeah.
Bittersweet to say the least. Geralt will end the season by rejecting his profession, where a supporting character will call out yelling Witcher, to which Geralt will reply, "No, no more." Before people get mad about this, it should be said that in the Witcher novel, The Tower of the Swallow, Geralt does reject his position as a Witcher for a time as well. As it is book accurate to have Geralt forego this, and in the novels, even Geralt's Witcher medallion melts in the fire as he renounces his duties during that book.
Okay.
However, whether the scenario that leads up to this is similar, I obviously can't say yet since the season isn't available yet. And according to showrunner Lauren Hissrich, this final scene of Henry as Geralt will be his heroic send-off, and I quote, "Geralt's big turn is about giving up neutrality and doing anything that he has to do to get to Ciri. And to me, it's the most heroic send-off that we could have, even though it wasn't written to be that. Geralt has a new mission in mind when we come back to him in Season 4. He's a slightly different Geralt than we expected.
So it might be a time skip.
By the way, that's an understatement," end quote. Yeah, slightly different isn't
Well, yeah, because it's a different guy. Like, yeah, I would assume. And it's like, I feel bad for, I think it's Liam Hemsworth? I forgot. Yeah, I think it's Liam Hemsworth. I feel bad for him. Because, like, even if he does as good of a job as Henry Cavill, he's still going to get shit on. Yeah, he can't win. I feel, yeah, it sucks.
Understatement, Lauren. You can say that again. Anyway, beyond this, it does seem season 3 will, to some degree, be taking
gonna hate him
more
no matter
inspiration from the novels, with the teaser opening as Geralt enters a ruin and drinks a Witcher potion. In the novel, Time of Contempt, Geralt does fight a manticore, which this could be, but it could also be Geralt taking a contract within the town of Hirondum. This contract involves a drowned child and could be Netflix's way of showing us the creatures known as drowners, but we'll see. We also can see Geralt unsheathing his steel sword, which is used when fighting men, not monsters, so that's pretty cool. I know I shouldn't get excited about this, but I just love The Witcher, and this entire situation just makes me so upset knowing...
Bro, it's over. It's over. It's done. It's like here's the thing. I'm a Lord of the Rings Andy. Okay, I fucking love Tolkien. I've read tons of shit about it. I have the Silmarillion downstairs. I've got all the fucking movies. I tried to read the books whenever I was in middle school. Admittedly, I never fucking finished them. I love it. And every single time that I see some clip of Shadow of Mordor where they make some fucking blue version of the One Ring, I'm like, what the fuck is this deviant art fan fiction bullshit? But it does not take away from Lord of the Rings. So it doesn't matter to me whenever I see, Rings of Power or, Galadriel's character seeming to not be what I had expected her to be, right? In Rings of Power. Who gives a shit? We still got the good movies, and they've still got the good game. Hopefully one day they make the Matrix 4 same. Bro, Matrix 1 and 2 same. Matrix did not need a fucking sequel. It was an open and shut book. It was a perfect fucking movie. Yes, obviously Matrix 1 and 2 and 3 were very cool. A lot of metaphysical, stuff, like philosophy, fucking super cool ideas, like really cool fight scenes, awesome CGI. Absolutely. But the first one was the best. And it did not need a second or third one. I'm not even thinking about the fourth. All I'm saying is that I just hope that CD Projekt Red makes a good Witcher 4. That's all. That's the only thing that matters. Who cares about the show? Fuck it. Who cares?
They're gonna ruin this.
How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
We also see Ciri getting chased by what seems to be the Wild Hunt, which is led by Aridin, the main villain of CD Projekt's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. He also appeared in the god-awful Blood Origin, if you had the stomach to watch that like I did, unfortunately. Anyway, enough about Netflix.
Isn't Aridin like an immortal elf that comes from like another world that got connected from like the conjunction of the spheres or some shit? Yeah. So how's he going to be a kid? How's he going to be a kid in Blood Origins? I don't know. I guess it was a long time ago, but like still.
Netflix's rights, let's talk about Netflix's wrongs. And there's something really interesting about how all of this went down. And while at first glance it may seem like nothing, the timing couldn't be more suspiciously anti-Witcher. Around the time of this new season getting announced, Henry released a behind-the-scenes look at his upcoming film, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which is being directed by Guy Ritchie. In this promo, Henry is excited as hell and looks to be having a ton of fun making the flick, which is always great to see. Henry had this to say, and I
Isn't
quote,
it crazy how much better it is? Like, you can immediately see that somebody's having a good time whenever they're not being ordered around by people who don't even like the show that they're doing.
That's a wrap. My days on Ungentlemanly Warfare are over. 'Tis a sad day. I'm going to echo the sentiments of my co-stars and sing the praises of our intrepid crew. It's rare to come across a team so driven, dedicated, and committed to the storytelling. That drive and dedication is only intensified by having a leader such as Guy Ritchie. His ability...
Didn't Guy Ritchie do Snatch back in the day?
To weave story and create character might be second to none,
holy
and he
fuck,
wields
that was
it
so
like
good.
it were magic.
Wow.
Those ingredients, skill, drive, and exceptional talent at the top, are only 3 of the ingredients needed for an experience that will last forever in memory. The fourth is happiness. Guy creates happiness on his set. It's a joyful place to be, full of laughter and japes and jests. The crew and cast's approach and personality is key in this. Everyone without fail was able to enjoy themselves while also working hard and being exceptional. This wee pontification would not be complete without heaping praise upon my fellow actors. Alan Ritchson, the man mountain with a heart of gold and a wisdom
is this guy Jack Reacher, I'm pretty sure?
Talent that can sweep you off your feet. Alex Pettifer, the lover, the laughter, the warmth of a big smile, and a jawline that would challenge the Turkish mountains. Henry Golding Jr., a snap, quick acting reaction time, handsome beyond belief, and always a man I was happy to see. And the last but not the least of my immediate team of misfits, Hero Fiennes Tiffin, a megastar in the making. I know a lot of you know him already, but oh my, he's going to have a magnificent career. To the makers of the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, I shall miss you all, and God's willing, see you soon. End quote.
That was a lot. I bet that movie probably is going to be pretty good. Yeah, I don't remember him saying any of that stuff at all about The Witcher.
The point of me showing and reading this to you
didn't say it about Justice League either. Not a surprise.
To further point out how Henry Cavill is not only a professional, but he's not afraid to recognize people who love what they do as well. He also posted this, like I said, when Season 3 of Witcher was announced. And many, including that Star Wars girl who I caught wind of this from, it almost seems like a slight attack towards Netflix and how he was treated on Witcher. It's been very well documented already that Henry's love and passion for accuracy when it comes to The Witcher was something the producers and writers, well, they just didn't share that with him. And while Netflix is saying they're sticking closer to the books with this new season, it also seems in classic Netflix fashion that they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. Netflix has said in the past that the Witcher Netflix series exists within its own world, which they view as...
So of course it exists within its own world. That way they're immune from being criticized for changing things or, more often, probably just getting them wrong.
Being separate from the books or games.
For modern audiences,
Speaking
guys.
to Screen Rant, we have some quotes from VFX supervisor Sebastian Frank.
I remember hearing about this show the first day it came out. That was the last time I heard about it. Actually, that's not true. I didn't watch it. I saw a YouTube video saying that it was bad on like the third day.
And producer Graham Marshall on the future of The Witcher and Netflix. These two had to say, and I quote, "We're working on some pretty tasty stuff for the next season. We're at the point where we're showing the creative team now, and they've been wowed by the stuff we're showing them, so that's cool. As far as Season 4 is concerned, we haven't really gotten too heavily involved just yet. But with Season 3, we're in the throes of delivering the final couple of episodes on that, and it's super cool. I don't think it's anything that anyone's read or seen before in Witcher lore, so I think it's gonna be exciting." And to quickly interject here between the quotes, they were then asked about staying closer to the books and their experience with the writing team and showrunner Lauren Hisrich, to which they said, and I quote, "We were referencing pretty much one for one some of the magic, and they were like, no, we can't. We don't want to go down that road." I think
they don't want to go down the road of, like, I don't understand how it's like you could, it's just like, what are you talking about? So, like you have the easiest job of your life. You remember, like, these showrunners, maybe they're good at what they're doing, but in 100 years, people are going to read The Witcher. They're going to know who Andrzej Sapkowski is. Probably in 200, 300, 400 years, they'll remember who he is. They're not him. You're not that guy. Just take it and then apply it to the show. That's it. I don't know about that. Nah, he's not Tolkien. I don't know. I think there's many stories. Like, a story doesn't have to be Tolkien for people to remember it and keep up with it for a very long period of time. Yeah, just adapt the books. It's the same thing with George R.R. Martin, with Game of Thrones. You're not George R.R. Martin. Stop trying to rewrite it. Stop it. Just stop it. Just do what he did. Put it in the... remember whenever Game of Thrones was good? Whenever they literally took the book, chapter for chapter, episode for episode. It was great, and then they deviated, and it got bad. You have the easiest job. It's the same thing with Halo. I said this the other day. All you have to do is take Halo 2 and make it a screenplay. Make it a movie. Done. No, we don't need to have some weird fucking sex scene with Master Chief. No, we don't. Stop it.
There's a lot of fans of one or the other, and you don't want to upset one without doing something that the other likes, etc. So they were very careful about keeping it true to the lore, true to the realm, true to The Witcher. I feel like this is where they're separate from the video game or separate from the books, is kind of allowing them to explore other storylines and other places and things like that. I think that's working well for them so far. It's different from watching a show like The Last of Us, in which the first episode is the beginning of the video game. Whereas with this, I think there's a lot of creative license to stay similar and true to certain parts and enable them to explore different parts as well. It's like the novels are the guidebook, but not the Bible by any means. And
it's not about following the novels. I think it is totally fine to adapt and change things in a way that makes it make more sense for a movie. Absolutely. Peter Jackson did it with Lord of the Rings. Many people do. Remember Fight Club? That was not the same as the book. Apparently, I didn't read it. My mom did. That's what she told me. It was not the same. It's not about doing it differently. It's about doing it worse. The boys, yeah, apparently
it's
there's
that final part there that really irks and makes me question if the people involved with adapting stuff for television understand what they're even saying. Saying the novels are the guide but not the Bible makes zero sense. My brother in Christ, you are literally adapting the book which contains the writings of
it doesn't seem that hard.
Happens. If there was ever a Bible for your adaptation of something, it would be the literal book you're adapting.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Am I crazy? Do I sound stupid here? What are these people?
Well, it's like, also keep in mind that most of what happened in the Lord of the Rings movie happened in the books. Like, yeah, obviously, like, Saruman was different. There were a few other things that are different. But, like, for the most part, it was the same thing.
Saying anymore. And it's full of idiocy that these people reference The Last of Us as something to not emulate, when that show was not...
Everybody loves it. Everybody loves the show. Well, we don't want to do this. Well, I mean, you know, we can't just go and do this. We can't just make a show everybody likes. What the fuck?
Only a massive success, but took many scenes right out of the game and put them into the show. Yeah. Almost as if the game was like, I don't know, a Bible for the show that's adapting the game for television, which is what you should be doing when you're making an adaptation of something that exists. Wow. Hello? What? It's very clear that Netflix has no interest in staying within the confines of the books, and just wants to cherry pick what they like while morphing or removing what they don't like.
That's about right.
After all, they're adapting a book series based on Slavic European culture and myths and thought the cast was too white and needed to infuse diversity so that The Witcher's world emulated real life. And like I've said...
big surprise. You know, the people over in Europe, most of them are white. Who could have imagined that?
Previous videos, it's very telling that Netflix especially has no problem with keeping projects very black, or other ethnicities if required. But whenever it's a project
it's become like a huge meme that, like, every single time there's like a Netflix show that, like, all the main characters are race swapped. Or like gender swapped. Yeah, it's become a massive meme. Netflix sued by Egypt.
Property,
there you go.
Now it's suddenly a problem. We have to remember that when Netflix and its hacktivist writers actually created their own original story within The Witcher, we ended up with Blood Origin. which not only added nothing to the mythos of substance, but ruined mysteries like the conjunction of the spheres by making it the result of two wizards fighting in dresses.
I can't take it anymore! I just want to die!
And then they made the first prototype Witcher a roided out, head-shaven elfin guy who looks more like a Grey Hulk than a Witcher. And that show did so horribly that I don't know anyone who can...
It's like even the reviewers didn't like it. That's bad.
...considers that show's lore or story to be canon in any capacity. Because when people think of what's the worst parts of Netflix's The Witcher, it always includes everything Netflix added to the series that wasn't there to begin with.
Yeah, that's probably about it.
A deaf sign language using character.
And everything people did love about the series was because of Henry Cavill, and when Netflix actually respected the source material. So ironically, the only times people like the show is when they treated the books like the Bible.
Yeah, big surprise. Fans of the show, fans of the books, and fans of the game liked the show when it was like the books in the game. How do you mess this up? I don't understand. It's just, it seems so fucking obvious, and people just can't get it through their fucking head.
Funny how that works.
If that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie,
yeah,
like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have, and people are going to be upset.
I'm so we've seen this clip probably 1,000 times. I've seen it fucking 5,000 times. I am so sick of this idea that people don't have the right to have an opinion, even if you think the opinion is fucking stupid. People can think what they want to think. That doesn't mean they're right. That doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't mean that you should do what they say. But it's their right to have that opinion. How the fuck is this so controversial nowadays? It's insane.
Because especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played.
And that's what happened with Geralt, is that I remember whenever Henry Cavill got announced as Geralt, a lot of people were really skeptical about that. Absolutely. They were like, I don't know about that, like, because they were thinking it would be like somebody, I'm trying to think like who, like a Mads Mikkelsen or something like that, right? And no, he did a great job. No, it was totally fine. Yeah, you just prove people wrong.
On Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
And Henry, like I said earlier, had heaps of praise to say about his cast and the director when it came to his time on Ungentlemanly Warfare, which, by the way, is also based on a novel. But when Henry posted about Witcher 3's teaser, here's what he had to say about it on Instagram. That's it. Weird how he doesn't write massive paragraphs praising...
Man. Man.
the direction, or the cast, or the writers.
I mean, you got the contract, you got to promote it, and, you know, like, I'm sure... The thing is, I'm sure he doesn't want the show to fail. He just doesn't want to be part of the show anymore. Like, I don't think he wants the show to fail. Like, he has friends. He's made friends on the set over 3 years. He doesn't want them to lose their job or anything like that. He's doing his job, and there it is. Sure.
Posted this because it's in his contract. So he just left some hashtags so Netflix would leave him alone so he could go back to painting his Warhammer figurines.
Yeah,
and like I've said in my previous video, Netflix even race swapped Cleopatra into a black woman. So apparently they don't even...
I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of people that think that that's real. Warhammer 40k movie, let's go. My understanding with the Warhammer 40k thing is that it was sold as it was going to be like a Warhammer 40k thing, and it's actually just going to be Henry Cavill painting and talking about Warhammer with his friends. Like, I don't think it's going to be like Game of Thrones or something like that.
respect actual history as something they need to adhere to when adapting stories.
Yeah.
So when a company goes as far as to race swap and change the history and ethnicity of a real person, it's no surprise that they couldn't care less about making sure if The Witcher is book accurate. Because these stories and properties are not viewed
Well, they don't care about the books. They care about making money and making it fit their narrative and their worldview. That's what matters to them.
Opportunities to adapt in order to do them justice. They're just free real estate for woke creators to push ideology down our throats.
I think that's very accurate. I think he's right, definitely.
Free real estate.
I wouldn't be surprised if Geralt appears to a lesser extent in this new season as well, as it's becoming increasingly prevalent.
Well, if I was the showrunners and I knew he was leaving, I would have him less into season 2. I think that'd be smart. I mean, to be fair, I think that's a smart thing to do.
Bait and switching an audience's expectations is becoming the norm lately. You have shows like The Mandalorian, which was supposed to be about Grogu and Mando, and it was advertised as such. But if you actually watch Season 3, then Bo-Katan stealths in and hijacks the show, with Mando and Grogu playing second fiddle to Bo and her girl boss objectives. And
again, none of this stuff actually matters if the show is good. It doesn't make a difference. So as long as the deviation is good, no one complains.
Now the producers of that show say anyone can be the Mandalorian.
It's the Mandalorian right at this point, and so I think it can be anyone, and I think that's what they're trying to define in many ways, is what does that mean to be Mandalorian?
How long until The Witcher becomes similar and Geralt is replaced by some Mary Sue self-insert female Witcher? And when attacked, Netflix will just say, well, anybody can be The Witcher now, and I guarantee
Oh god,
that
dude, I really hope they do that. That's gonna be so fucking funny. Oh boy.
Netflix will at some point introduce a female Witcher, even though the creator of the series, Andrzej Sapkowski, has made it evidently clear in his books that the female anatomy cannot survive the trial of the grasses.
Oh, they're not gonna like that.
This is why there are no female Witchers. Besides, becoming a Witcher should not be viewed as a privilege anyway. It's always been painted more like a curse that plagues the unfortunate souls who survive the training. They can't have kids, their bodies are mutilated, they can't die as easily, they are literal living weapons. But Netflix will find a way to yassify and girl boss the profession.
Yassify?
Because
I like
nothing,
that. That's
not
clever.
even Witchers or real-life women like Cleopatra, can stand in the way of delivering the message. The Witcher at Netflix is in its death spiral, and I will be surprised.
It's not in its death spiral, bro. It's down the drain. Like, it's been down the drain. Apparently, season 2, like, I had such good memories of season 1. I didn't even watch season 2 because everybody said it was bad. And I was like, well, I don't want to watch it then. I'm probably not going to watch season 3 either.
If the show even exists long enough to complete its planned 7-season run. But let it be known that the fate of The Witcher and Netflix is what happens when you don't treat the actual source material like it's the Bible. Why do you think so many people hated the Halo TV show? And why The Last of Us was so popular? Because if you treat what people love with the respect it deserves, the work will speak for itself. And when it comes to The Witcher and the erasure of Henry Cavill's...
Yeah, it's so crazy. I am just in constant astonishment that somebody can have such an easy job and just completely fail at it.
Star power from the glint of the medallion around Geralt's neck, Netflix will be horrified when they realize that the fan base will abandon them the same way Geralt does his Witcher ways as well. And when Netflix yells to the fans, "But The Witcher, you guys like that, right? Why are you leaving?" The fan base will look back in disdain and contempt and whisper, "No, no more."
That's about right. I think people have already done that. They don't really give a shit anymore. I'll read a few comments on this. I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back, okay? Yeah, I totally agree with what he's saying. I think it's just... people don't want to have their content and, like, their entertainment used as a tool for somebody else to push their worldview. It's just, you know, if anything, it's immersion breaking. It's like, bro, this is a fantasy movie. I don't want to see some bullshit. Ugh. Rankings IMDb are so distorted if they contain LGBT content. Yeah, I think that's probably the case. I think that people just don't want to see like modern stuff put into like older stories. It's really just that simple. Even if you think it should be there, it kills a lot of people's escapism because they know that whenever they see it, it's only there because of modern sensitivity. Right, that's what it is. And then also, you got to keep in mind, like, people fucking, like, there's a lot of Western people that have a very Western-centric view of the world. Being gay, even, is not viewed positively in the whole world. There are a lot of places that don't like gay people. So, big surprise, whenever you're on the internet, which is a global platform, part of that platform is those people. That's it. Being gay is fucking manly. I don't give a fuck if somebody's gay. It doesn't matter. I don't care. That's it. And then that's literally the end of the conversation. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not gay. I'm not going to catch gay from them. You know, like, what the fuck? It doesn't matter. I don't want to hear about it. It's not a big deal. Let's see here. See, there's so many actual problems in the world. Imagine caring about that. Netflix has finally achieved their goal as CW quality production values. Congratulations, Netflix. Take a bow. This is Slovakian and these American corporations ruining our stories. Yeah, I bet you fucking are. I have great love for Poland. Seeing Netflix ruin The Witcher saddens me very much. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Well, I don't know what to say about that, but who cares about your immersion? Actors non-right ethnicity exists. You can't discriminate based on race when you're a company hiring people. It's just that simple. I think that whenever you're hiring a person to fill a certain role and then that role doesn't fit what fans imagine that character to be, you're going to have a problem. Like, I understand that, like, you want to... So this is an example of the customer is always right. And I understand that you, and because you've decided that, like, this is the right thing to do, that, like, this is the correct and ethical and right thing to do, is to hire people regardless of, like, a race or gender or anything like that for, like, different roles in movies. Sure. But just don't be surprised whenever people don't want to watch it. It's again, they can make the Netflix and make The Witcher, do whatever they want. I don't care if they want to make The Witcher a dog. It doesn't matter to me. Just don't be surprised. Brad Pitt is Shaka Zulu. Probably not. So that would be problematic. I would say so. Absolutely. So it's just as simple. I'd watch it. I would too, but for a different reason. It would be watching it to see how fucking ridiculous it is. I mean, they made fucking what's his name? Who Genghis Khan? John Wayne. They made John Wayne Genghis Khan. I have a really good feeling that John Wayne did not look like Genghis Khan. Like, pretty much, I would bet a lot of money that that was not the case. It was not even remotely close. He did, a Mongol leader. Yeah, he's a Mongolian. So anyway, so point is that I understand that you might have that viewpoint, and I think people should be able to make, this is like, again, it's kind of like the other side of like what Henry Cavill said, is fans have the right to have whatever opinion they want. If a fan of the show wants to go and make The Witcher and make it as woke as you can possibly imagine it, go ahead. Go ahead. If people like it, they're going to watch it. If people don't like it, they're not going to watch it. That's it. Everybody's got their right to get it out there and put themselves out there and do what they want. It's not a new phenomenon, though. You said yourself, for example, Chinese Jesus. Culture has been race swapping to adapt it to their size society forever. Exactly. But there's some that people accept and some people don't accept. Said before, I saw Green Lantern was white. It was Ryan Reynolds. Bro, no, it's not. I grew up on the Justice League cartoon. Green Lantern was black. That's it. So yeah, I definitely fucking agree with you. The same thing. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, wait, what the hell? Different Lantern? No. No, see, like, I don't care about that. Because, like, the Green Lantern that I grew up with was black guy. And it was in the show. I love the show. He was really cool. Yeah, so, like, I don't really care about, like, the lore. Because, like, what I remember, it was like, yeah, that's all it was. Just it was infinitely cooler. Do you think they're using makeup to let you represent specifically race characters will be the norm or will become increasingly shunned? Think Tropic Thunder. I don't know. I think it depends on the context. Like Tropic Thunder, realistically, it's not like really blackface in the same way. Like the guy, what was his name? Kirk Lazarus. Like the guy, he was supposed to be a dumb asshole. Like the entire narrative around the character was that he was an oblivious, overly fucking egotistical actor that had no sense of, fucking self-respect. So like, you're not portraying a person as like he's not a good guy. Yeah, he was the joke. The fact that he thought it was okay was the joke. They even made the joke. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? You know, it's a satirical character. Exactly, yeah. So it's totally different. Nick Fury was white too. I can't imagine anyone else is Samuel Jackson. Exactly. And that's what I'm really trying to get at with all this, is that at the end of the day, if you want to adapt the story, it has to be better than the original story. And I think it has to be a lot better than the original story for people to accept it. So adapt the story as much as you want, but don't be surprised whenever people don't like it. That's it. Tropic Thunder's unapologetic response today is Giga Chad. Well, I don't think people really give a shit about that kind of stuff. There's only a very small handful. Let me link this video. Sorry, I forgot to even do that. I think this is a pretty good video. I'm glad that, people are talking about this kind of stuff. I think that a lot of people are kind of getting tired of people with an agenda or people with a worldview trying to insert it into a fantasy. Just make it good. Yeah, it's that simple. Ultimate Nick Fury is based on Sam Jackson originally, so they put Fury in the movie. It was a natural choice. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. I think Denzel Washington was fucking amazing as Macbeth. Well, do you want to know why? Because Denzel Washington. That's why. He's one of the actors that if he's in this movie, I'm like, okay, this is a good movie. Yeah, it's not about... See, Samuel Jackson, like, it's not about, like, what color he is. It's him. Yeah, let's be real. American Gangster? Yeah, same with Russell Crowe. Another one. Like, if he's in a movie, I'm like, bro, that's probably going to be a good movie. I take that one seriously. Like, this might sound like a stupid thing, but for me, I base if I'm going to watch a movie or not, if I'm interested in a movie or not, off of the actors that are in it. Like, I have, like, kind of a list of actors that if they're going to be in a movie, I assume that it will be a good movie. Like, Tom Cruise, back and forth, right? If it's a serious movie, yes. Actually, I think Tom Cruise is a great comedic actor. Like, I mean, in Tropic Thunder, right? I think he's better at that than, like, anything. Let's see here. Leonardo DiCaprio, absolutely. Tom Hardy's getting there. Tom Hanks. Let's see here. Christian Bale, absolutely. Will Smith. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Will Smith stuff. Johnny Depp. I think Brad Pitt. Like, if Brad Pitt is in a movie, I bet that movie is going to be fucking amazing. I think he is so good. Daniel Day-Lewis. Anything Quentin Tarantino's involved with? Yeah, there you go. No Keanu. Yeah, Keanu Reeves, obviously. Amber Heard. Yeah, clearly, man. Let's see here. Matthew McConaughey. I think that he's getting there. I haven't seen a lot of his newer movies, but I think him as a series, like he used to be a romantic comedy actor, like that was like pretty much all he did, and then he started taking like more serious roles. It was the best thing that could have ever happened to him. Jim Carrey. Yeah, there's a few more, but like all I'm saying is like that's how I base if I think a movie is going to be good or not. Is like who's in the movie and who's like which people are actually there. You know, like which actors are there. Mel Gibson used to be? Yeah, Mel Gibson before the... Mel Gibson had a Kanye moment back in the 90s. If you can believe that.